Okay, so today is our secret mesh mission. So maybe you didn't find this live. You can watch the replay and still get points. I've got my tea here. I'm drinking it. I'm a little parched today, so I'll be drinking that as we go. But I'm really excited because this is a secret mission. I have been really having fun with this. I love making up stories. I had this in my background, and this was actually, I think this is at the Endless Wall Trail up in West Virginia. We had a blast on this trail. It's beautiful. But I think that's where this one is. They all blend together after a while. But here's the thing is that you have a mission and it is to actually pay attention to your body. And if you've already been doing this because you're in the wild path or because you've been on this herbal journey way before you even entered Journey on Nature's path, then I'm just going to congratulate you right now. But I want to push you a little bit further than that because if you already understood what your body's doing, and you haven't started implementing herbs yet, or you only have a handful that you feel confident with, I really want to push you to start looking into other herbs and start using the ones that you think are going to fit your body system. If you're confused, you can always message me. We can hop on a one-on-one. We could talk about your options and hash some stuff out. So just message me. I would love to reach out to you. Sorry if there's dinging in the background. I don't know how to turn off my notifications sounds. Yeah, I don't want to get distracted with that. But I will figure that out for the next time. Okay, so I love about I love a PowerPoint, so I did make a PowerPoint for today, even though it's basically going to be chit chat. But I love to have a PowerPoint because I'm a visual person. I like to see things. So, of course, here we go. So, welcome to your midweek check-in, and this is your 7-day herbal boot camp. I have been loving to see what you guys are commenting because this gives me a better picture of what you're struggling with so that when I'm creating things for the Wild Path Monthly, I know, or for, the Journey on Nature's Path in general, I know what you guys are needing because this is integral to making sure that I am leading you guys down the right path. We don't want to go down one way or down the other. That's not going to lead you to the right success. So today we opened up our little box. We looked at the different sensations in our body. The day that we were at an impasse. We can we could have chose one way or another. And honestly, in reality, there's probably a myriad of places that we could go to. So a bunch of different trails that you could head down. But making sure that you're paying attention to your body is so important. These days, we are locked into our computers, our games, our phones, some type of screen, and we forget to think about us, or maybe we're just laying on the couch relaxing. We get to think about our true body, ourselves. What's going on with me? For instance, I have a little bit of poison ivy. This one you can't really ignore, right? It's just a teeny tiny spot. You may not even be able to see it on the camera, but oh my goodness, it itches like crazy. So, paying attention to those signals. I also have a headache today, so feverfew. I just took it right before I hopped on so I could make sure that I could focus a little better. It's already gone down quite a bit. Also had a little bit of raspberry tincture, and then I've got this, it's got blackberry in it and some cinnamon. So we're good to go. So, do you have herbs that you're using when things are going wrong? So we started at the head of the trail on Monday. We were trying to figure out, we are paying attention to your body signals. I loved the way you guys interacted on that post and were real because I think it's a tendency to feel like you can't share all the things that are going on with you, especially if they're negative. A lot of people don't share that stuff. I love that you guys were real on there and really shared what you guys were feeling. So using herbs more consistently and then noticing your body patterns before, um, or like, did you notice any new patterns that you never noticed before? And then Bill. are you building your simple wellness habits? Okay. Because this is a great exercise to get points and have fun, but the goal is for wellness. So if you're taking that surface level step of paying attention, like, well, I know I have a headache, but you don't take that next action of what I can do to fix that headache. What type of headache is it? What's going on with it? Paying attention, diagnosing and paying attention to that. That's where your next steps are going to go. And maybe you need some more support with that. And that's why I'm going to share with you at the end some more steps you can take. But every small step is moving you forward. Okay. So let's celebrate, take a moment, recognize your progress. Um, Ask yourself what you're the most proud of so far. So, have you got a different tincture or a tea that you never have? Have you researched an herb that you never have? Have you paid attention to your body and you kind of been neglecting it for a long time? So, are these things that are benefiting you and how are you adapting because of it? So what has been easiest or easier than you expected? Because a lot of times, I've been watching this show lately, or it's a series on Facebook, just a Facebook reel. It's probably on Instagram and all those things. But she said she's um, doing things that I put off and timing it to see how long it actually takes. And I love this series because here's the thing. Getting a tea in the morning takes less time than coffee. I'm just going to be realistic. Adding a sprig of parsley oregano to your meal takes 10 seconds. So these things that we say we don't have time for is really like not a huge amount of time and effort in the long run. Yes, if you want to make tinctures at home, it does take a little time. You've got to dry it out. But literally, you're putting herbs into a container and pouring alcohol over it and then letting it sit. So it doesn't really take a ton of time to actually do it. And then what's the biggest surprise? So I cannot wait to see you guys down in the comments if you're watching that replay, put it down there. You're gonna get an extra 10 points for answering these questions in the comments as well. And I am keeping track of your points. I posted that today. I don't know if you saw that, but and then what have you learned about your body? Are there changes in energy, even in the past 3 days? And then is it during the day? Like maybe in the morning you have a lot of energy, and then by midday you're exhausted, and then by the end of the day you have energy again, you can't go to sleep. So, what is that looking like, and what could you support yourself when your energy is waning, or even build in a time where you can have a rest? If you do know in the afternoon you're going to be tired, maybe you don't do back-to-back visits or back-to-back, if you're working online, back-to-back online presentations, or maybe you take that extra break if your boss allows you to at work, or you just plan the harder work in the morning because you know in the afternoon you're not going to have as much energy. So making sure that you plan your day to fit your energy levels as well. So have you been feeling calmer? Maybe you are using an herb that's helping. I did notice there were a couple people in there that were talking about using different herbs. I know I saw chamomile in there. Um, and then I saw all these that you guys were making. Well, it's Tamara, and she was doing a lot of different tinctures. And yeah, it looks like she had tinctures, oils, and that's setting herself up for success. So that's going to, yes, it might take a little bit of time to do right now, labeling it, getting everything ready. But in the long run, that's going to set her up for success. So when things do go wrong, like for today, like for instance, today, I had that raspberry tincture already ready to go, and I could just take a sip before I headed into this live presentation because I wasn't feeling the best. So you can give yourself support even when you have a lot of things that are going on. So, are you feeling a change in your digestion? Maybe your digestion is what you're really wanting to focus on. Maybe you have a sluggish digestion and you are constipated, or maybe you are on the other end of the spectrum and you have a hard time solidifying that. And so, either way, you need to be paying attention. Here's a little trick, with digestion. There are three main things. I mean, I did a whole thing on digestion in there. But here's just a couple tips and tricks. If you are constipated and then you might need more warming herbs or spices. Most spices are warming, so keep that in mind. And then if you are on the other side of the spectrum, maybe you need more cooling herbs. And then and yeah, so to solidify that. And then if you are having a lot of acid reflux, then having a mucilagen can help calm that as well. Mucilagenic herb. And if you don't know any of those, let me know. We'll talk. I've got all kinds of information on that in my community. You just need to know where to look. So, a pattern, what's the pattern that you have? What pattern haven't you noticed before? If I could read that one. So, which one haven't you noticed before? Is there something inside of you that's actually flaring up that you didn't even know was there? Maybe it's that you have a lot of moisture. Here's an example of like a lot of moisture. If you push into your skin and when you pull out, see, there's no dent there. But if you have a lot of moisture, it's going to stay. It's going to stay indented. And it may not be like dramatic, but it is indented. So that's kind of telling you that you are running a little bit more damp. So you need to get some of those fluid pushed out. And there's different ways to do that. So just remember. Remember, no result is still a result. So learning doesn't have to, or learning what doesn't work is important as well. Because if we're understanding what doesn't work, we're going to move towards what does work a lot easier. So every observation helps better understand your body. Okay. And roadblocks are normal. We talked about the roadblock yesterday, and I've got to do this just for the fun of it. I've got to put up that picture um, of the roadblock. Are you there? What was that? That was weird. I thought I heard something. That's freaky. There's nobody on here. Oh, I did us? Okay. I did record though. I'm gonna pause you for a second. Okay. I didn't have this, but here is the roadblocks, guys. Um, if you are forgetting to use herbs, you're missing a day, or if you feel like you are too busy, remember, it's not about being too busy. And there are days where I feel like I'm too busy, and then I go and grab it. I'm like, oh my gosh, I feel so much better. I'm so glad I did that. For instance, like today, I was feeling bad this morning. I didn't go grab everything right away. And I started feeling worse and worse. I was getting ready to lay down and I was like, "Oh my goodness, like if I just use some herbs to help me get through this, I will be okay again." And really I did and I feel just fine. These are really, and I'm not saying that it fixes everything immediately, but there's a lot of good benefits to keeping consistent. So it's okay. Do not get in your head about the fact that you cannot do it because you've been struggling to get it in. So each day is new, each moment is new. So don't give yourself a hard time about yesterday, about 5 minutes ago. Let's focus on right now and what you could potentially do in the future. I do see a lot of people getting in that mindset, oh my gosh, I could never do that because I didn't do it this time and I just can't. So you can, and it's going to be okay. let's move on. Keep building momentum. So once you start being consistent, you start feeling more confident, you start learning new things, and you create consistency and you move closer to feeling better. And once we start feeling better, then we can start treating our family better. We can start getting things done that we've been putting off. Like, I cleaned out my closet this weekend, and that's one thing I've just been putting off for a long time. Like, things will fall on the bottom, like clothes, mostly clothes. And I would just leave it there. And so I was just like, oh my goodness. It literally took me maybe 20 minutes to do, but I just kept putting it off. And so, what are your roadblocks? What are the things that get you to stop? And realize that once you start being consistent, you do feel more confident, and do feel better, so you can take that first leap. So here's the thing is that I like this as a 7-day challenge. It is fun, and I don't know why I've got weird letters there. I didn't catch that. But here's the thing is that this adventure can continue. So after the next few days, we're gonna complete new challenges. We're gonna learn more about our body. We're gonna put herbs into practice. We're gonna build lasting habits, and we are going to finish this trek strong. So if you have slacked off today because you see today's hump day, and I have noticed people have put it off a little bit longer. I'm not saying you're not going to do it, because you could do it when you get off work or in the evening or right before bed, and that's totally fine. But not as many people have posted as much as the first day. That is totally fine. But here's the thing. I challenge you to work on that. Not just for, not for me, but for you, for your health, for your benefits, because this is going to transform your life if you let it. All right, so a community check-in. So let's hear from you guys, in the comments. What herbs are you using? What's working well? What questions do you have? And how can I support you? How can we support each other? Because this is where the magic happens. Because if we're doing this all on our own, it is no longer it's not it's such an isolated journey, and it's so much harder. And I did it alone because when I first found herbs, I was single. Then when I had partners in the past, they could care less about herbs. Or, they were into certain things, but not others. And then my husband now, he will, he doesn't even like tea. So occasionally I can get him to use it, and he is pleasantly surprised when he does use it. But he's a man. Not all men are like that, but he isn't into it. So I've been on this journey alone. That's why I love my community, though. This is what's going to bring us back to being like, we are so disconnected. We need to bring it back to be connected again. And I am so pumped to see that over 400 people, almost 500 people have decided that they want to start using herbs, to start making a difference and start feeling better using the traditional route, because this route is there. We just don't know which herbs to use yet. So today's mission is complete today's challenge. Use your herbs. Use your herbs. The ones that are good for you. Don't use the ones that aren't going to help you or tip you in the wrong direction. And here's one thing. If you ever take anything away from me, I've got the pen out. I usually use whatever's around. But our herbal journey is a pattern. If you learn anything from me, we are tilted when we are out of balance. This could be hot, that could be cold, this could be damp, this could be hot, moist, no, dry. This could be tense, this could be lax. Okay, whenever we are tilted, we are out of balance. And If we want to get back into balance, use a few herbs that's going to tip us in the right direction. You can use too many herbs and tip yourself in the other direction. Be very careful about this. And that's why it's so important to pay attention to your body. That's why we are doing check-ins. That's why we're doing journals. That's why we're making sure that we're paying attention because you start using herbs and you put too many, now you are the other way. And now you're seeing symptoms that you've never seen before and you have no idea why. Here's the reason. You've used too much, okay? It is a balancing act, and that's why I'm here to help you along the way. But yeah, share one thing that you've learned so far and keep moving forward in the journey one adventure at a time. And I love this like storyline stuff. I'm a geek that love D&D, so if you don't understand that, I'm sorry. I'm like a kid at heart. I work with children with special needs as my main job as well, and I play for a living there. So I'm actually getting ready to go there here in a minute, but you know, I just love to play. And so, because feeling better should be an adventure, I wanted to create a program that was fun. And so that's why I made this herbal boot camp, but it doesn't just end there. You're doing an amazing job and keep it up, but this is a lifetime thing. So that is why I made the Feel Better in 90 Days adventure. And because this should be an adventure, you need to stop starting over and start leveling up. And so what is Feel Better in 90 Days adventure? Oh my gosh, this is going to be so much fun. I'm gonna enjoy this one. I have made a lot of educational stuff that has been kind of bringing me back to my college days where we are just like textbooking it up and learning, and I love to teach. So that has been so fun. But here's the thing. I wanted to make it fun in a fun way, not in an educational way. So we are going to learn, but it's going to be way more fun. So we're going to start implementing this. Now, this is going to be 90 days. So it's not going to be, this is a sprint, the Herbal Boot Camp. So it's a lot of like writing down and trying to check in, and it is a little bit more intensive. But with this herbal boot camp, we are going to start feeling better. There's herbs that are on your shelf that you probably haven't touched. And you started healthy habits, but then lost motivation. And you wonder why are, um, which herbs are actually right for you. And you feel overwhelmed and conflicted in wellness advice. And you also wish that you could, um, you could be guided every step of the way. And I feel like I have seen this in the community that if this is you, it's because I'm seeing you, because I'm seeing people in the community that are like, I don't have time, or you've been putting it off and you need someone to help guide you through. It's like, I don't know, I'm overwhelmed. This is too much. And you need someone to stand beside you. So I created this program so that you're not alone. And so most people don't fail because they're not trying, but they need someone beside them. I know there's this app out there that's called Body Doubling, and you can clean with somebody to keep yourself motivated. And so that was kind of something that I had in the back of my mind when I was creating this, but I wanted to make it more fun than just being with someone. And this isn't going to take a lot of time. This is going to be quick check-ins, and you're going to have a lot of interaction. So imagine in 90 days from now, if you feel more confident, you have more energy, you have better focus, you have healthy habits, you could touch base with me to make sure that you're following your herbal goals and you followed through and you have a deeper understanding of your body and you have a supportive community that is behind you. So this adventure is going or is not like another. Okay. We are going to have a storyline, kind of like we are in the Herbal Bootcamp, but it's going to be a weekly. We're going to have a weekly adventure. We're going to have little fun treasures that pop up. But instead of dropping off our motivation, we are going to be leveling up. And so each week or each day we will level up. Each week we will have, if we completed our daily task, we will level up to the next level. And so that way we can feel like we're actually getting somewhere instead of, I feel like with your herbal journey, you are getting somewhere, but there's a lot of subjective way of getting there. So you don't actually have a this plus this equals this, and there's not a tangible outcome. So I'm trying to put a tangible outcome so that you stay focused and stay motivated. And you also don't feel alone because you're there with me. You've got other people in there. So we're gonna actually use so this is how it's going to work. Yeah. Okay. So complete daily adventures and tasks. So this could be small but meaningful things. You're going to earn XP, level up, and build your herbal skills. At the beginning, you can create your own avatar, which will be super fun. I can create it for you, or I can help you, and that way you will have that avatar that is you that's going through this. And you will stay connected, celebrate wins. I have an accountability partner right now in my business, and I like hop on there. I'm like, oh my gosh, I completed this today, and she's like, oh my goodness, I did this, and like it's so fun to interact. And that's what this is going to bring to you. There's going to be live people that are, congratulating you and interacting with you because of your wins. I'm going to so this is going to be a 90 days of guided adventure. You're going to have access to me um within 24 hours to 48 hours. Typically I will respond faster than that. But 48 hours if I'm having a hard day or whatever. But typically it will be 24 hours or less. This is going to give herbal lessons. There's going to be XP. We're going to have personalized guidance. So this is the thing. So if you're like, I took chamomile and I feel really tired, I don't know what's going on. Of course, everybody knows chamomile makes you tired. It also makes you calm. So people will focus on that and forget that it makes you tired. So but there's other herbs that you're taking and then you report back how you're feeling, and then we're gonna troubleshoot some of that together. So you have access to me 24 to 48 hours. So we're gonna use Telegram for our communication. If you don't understand it, we will walk you through it, so no worries. It's gonna be super easy. It's kind of like instant messenger, and so you can send videos, texts, you can do an audio. That way it's easier for you to reach out in whatever way is best for you. I will probably send you a video back if I'm out in public. Maybe I'll do an audio or a text, but I will get back to you within 24 hours. And that way, I think sometimes when you see people's faces in videos, it'll connect you a little bit more. But we'll have daily engagement, we'll have surprise challenges, we'll have text reminders as well. Also, if you get in this week, then you will get the bonus herbal first aid kit. So this will be herbs that you can put in your first aid kit. So it's not too many herbs that it's so overwhelming, but it's a basic amount of herbs that you can have. So whenever something goes wrong, you will have some go-to herbs. We'll have herbal field guides. So herbs that are going to help you along the way. So this will be more customized to each person. And then a wellness journal. So we're gonna make sure that you can stay focused on your journey. And so just like documenting, that's gonna really help you focus on what is good for you. And then yeah, again, I did already say this because I'm really excited. Surprise quests and bonus rewards. So I love those surprise things because it keeps the people on their toes. It keeps people excited about coming back. And then there's other people that are going to be along the journey with you, and so that's going to be so amazing. So you build your herbal first aid kit. They're gonna go over the so during this 90-day challenge, I'm going to challenge you to build your herbal first aid kit. So I'll give you a list at the beginning if you hop in this week, and then if not, you're gonna have to do the heavy work and look for yourself. But these will be the herbs that you need, or I'll add the herbs that you need for each one of these minor things that might be coming up during your life. And so by the end, you'll have an herbal first aid kit that is really going to benefit you and your family. And you'll never be alone. Ask questions, celebrate wins, share challenges, what you're going through. Again, within 48 to 24 hours, I will be there for you. And other people will be showing up just like you're seeing right now, in the Herbal Boot Camp. People are there to support each other. So just being on that journey together is priceless. So you'll transform your transformation. At the end, you'll have healthy habits that you'll stick to, because if you stick to something for 90 days and you are going to be the top, the elite, because people have a hard time even sticking to things for 14 days. So if you've stuck to something for 90 days, it is a habit. You have it in your repertoire and you can continue to do it. You'll have greater confidence, more energy, better focus, and personalized herbal routine, and you'll complete an adventure that you'll be proud of. And I will tell you, I have never seen a program like this before, where they are making your herbal wellness actually fun. Because yes, I have been to a lot of seminars and webinars and all these things, but to make it fun is just the next level, okay? This is going to be a blast, and I wish I would have had this. So you can see, I'm not going to go over every little point here, but everything is a total value of $5,000, because because of all of the wonderful skills, all the wonderful things that are in there, and all the support, the specific guidance, and the fact that I'm going to be in touch with you within 24 to 48 hours, that's going to be a lot for me, but I really see that that's going to make that difference. I see that a lot of people in the community are being left behind because they don't know which way to go. They're in the middle of the trail and they're like, which herb do I use? I don't know which way to go. And this is going to help you, give you the map, give you the guide that's going to take you on that map, and someone that's going to hold your hand during this, as well as other people along the journey that are going to be there with you. So this is a whole group. Okay. So today your investment is only going to be $9.97. You can split payments into 3 months or weekly payments, whichever is best with you, which is going to be so much easier to break down. There's also options for, if you use the checkout, you can look for other options for, I think there's like Affirm and Afterpay and things like that. And if you don't see those options, then message me and we'll figure something out. Because I know sometimes you need a longer payment plan, and that's totally fine. Because this is going to be the difference between your herbal wellness or you slacking off, not knowing where to go and feeling overwhelmed all the time. And so I want to make sure that you are working with me. So reach out to me, message me, so here's some questions that you may ask. So is it beginner friendly? Absolutely. Because from the very beginning, if you don't know one herb, then we're going to build up your knowledge. So you can ask questions, or there. there's a quiz that is free in the community that we're going to have you choose. We're going to ask about your energetics, and I'm going to give 1 to 2 herbs over time as you get better or as you go through, excuse me, as you go through the trail that you can try or explore, research yourself, look into them so that you can start figuring out which herbs are right for you. So this is actually perfect for beginners, but also if you know a lot about herbs, this is also going to be good for you. So this is going to help you expand your knowledge and challenge you to go deeper because sometimes we stay at that surface level and we don't want to go deeper, but this is a fun way to do it. And how much of time does it take each day? It's very minimal time. So, how long it takes you to make a video is how long it takes you to check in. So it could be 30 seconds. But the fact that, or, you can do a quick text that could be like 10 seconds. But the action is where the time will be. And honestly, those actions really they aren't that, like for instance, I had that tincture. It took me 10 seconds, so don't overthink it. It doesn't take as much time as you think. And really, you get more time when you have more energy and you're not in pain and you don't feel bad. It's like time expands because you're like, oh my goodness, I could not do all this stuff I could now because I have all this energy. And then what if you fall behind? It's okay. We're going to work through that. We're going to talk through it. We're going to look at what might be your roadblocks be. And if I see that you're falling behind, we're going to have a talk. And it doesn't have to be a pressure. Maybe there's something going on in your life that you just want to talk about. No worries. But we will work through that, okay? And can you start anytime? Right now, we're doing just starting on September 1st. We may be able to add people on, but right now, September 1st is the only time. So you really want to go in before that. And is this course, and actually the price is going to go up after this week. So you really want to hop in before that price goes up because this is a really amazing course. It's going to take a lot of time for me, but at the same time, I'm going to see you guys thrive. And so that's why I want to do it for you. And then how long do you have access? So you'll have access for those 90 days and any of those PDFs or things like that you will have access to. And the way that the the daily the the daily and weekly challenges are um that that is to be determined, but yeah, that'll be to be determined. But if I put that on a separate platform, then you'll have access to that after the 90 days. So, and the herbal first aid is in your email, so you'll have that forever. So the journey starts here because feeling better should be an adventure. In 90 days, you'll look back and realize that it wasn't a giant leap that changed your life. It was small, consistent adventures that you did each day. So start your adventure today. Okay. And so since no one is on here with me, I'm just going to put the link above this video so you can hop in there. And this is a really fun adventure. I cannot wait to be on this adventure with you guys. This is really going to change a lot for you, and I'm really excited. I went over time, but I wanted to make sure that you guys understood all of it and you could check in with your body. So have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful boot camp. So I cannot wait to see you back tomorrow for day 4, and we're going to talk about another story. So come back and see what that one is. I can't wait. I'll see you guys later. Bye bye.